Greetings, royal seed of Jacob, royal African Americans, royal Negroes. There's a lot going on right now here in America, and I am here to tell you that the Almighty does not want you to fear. He wants you to live in peace till Zion come. So with everything that's going on, the orbs, the portals and stargates opening up in the sky, the fog that's making people sick and making animals sick, and this right here with the birthright citizenship, there's a lot going on. But like I said, the Almighty does not want you to fear. Excuse me. With this video, I'm going to show you what is going to happen when the Almighty comes back, the supernatural events, the supernatural things that you're going to see. I'm going to show you also the new things that the Almighty is going to do in this Exodus compared to our Exodus out of Egypt. And I am going to show you your role in the end. So I'm going to start here. Trump to make historic move toward revoking birthright citizenship. President Trump is expected to kickstart the process. Excuse me, sorry about that. President Trump is expected to kickstart the process to revoke birthright citizenship. After years of proposing the constitutional change as a way to reduce undocumented immigration, by now we should know that it has nothing to do with the undocumented immigrants. Birthright citizenship, meaning that someone born within the U.S. or the United States territories is automatically a U.S. citizen, is currently protected by the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The clause, often referred to, states that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. This was created for us, and only us. This shifted us from being slaves to citizens. And being citizens, they couldn't do some of the heinous things that they were doing to us. Trump is trying to revoke this. And if it goes through Congress, and if it happens, then we will no longer be citizens. We will be slaves. But like I said, there is nothing to fear. The Almighty does not want you to fear. He wants you to live in peace. This is prophecy that's happening right now, and you, whatever you're going through, you have the opportunity to live this. Psalms 91, 1-8, and I read, He that dwells in the help of the highest shall sojourn under the shelter of the power of heaven. He shall say to the Almighty, Thou art my helper, and my refuge, my power, I will hope in him. For he shall deliver thee from the snare of the hunters. Who are the hunters? The same people that hunted us and brought us here. From every troublesome matter, whatever bothers you, he has your back. He shall overshadow thee with his shoulders, and thou shalt trust under his wings. His truth shall cover thee with a shield. We are shielded from all of this. Thou shalt not be afraid of terror by night, nor of the arrow flying by day, nor of the evil thing that walks in darkness, nor of the calamity and the evil spirit at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you observe and see the reward of sinners. So basically, this is saying that when we dwell with the Almighty, only the Almighty, that he will protect us. And whatever bothers us, we can give it to him. Now, Christianity tells us that we cannot go to the Almighty without going through Christ. And I'm going to show you that that's not true. Psalm 116, 1 and 2, and I read, Alleluia, I am well pleased, because the Almighty will listen to the voice of my supplication. He will listen to us. Because he has inclined his ear to me, listening, therefore will I call upon him while I live. So while we live, we call upon the Almighty. Excuse me. And only the Almighty. Here's another one. Psalm 55, 16 and 17, and I read, I cried to the Almighty, and the Almighty listened to me. Evening and morning and at noon, I will declare and make known my wants, and he shall hear my voice. So the Almighty is showing us here, whatever we want, all we have to do is go to him because he hears us. And one more. Psalm 37, 4 and 5, and I read, Delight thyself in the Almighty, not Christ, the Almighty, and he shall grant thee the request of thine heart. So whatever's in your heart, whatever's going on in your life right now, give it to the Almighty. Disclose thy way to the Almighty and hope in him, and he shall bring it to pass. So there's three scriptures that show that the Almighty listens to us, and when we ask him for something in righteousness, he gives it to us. Okay. Now, I had said that I'm going to tell you what's going to happen and also the new things. Now, there's people that believe that the Almighty is not going to do new things. Nothing new under the sun. So, I give you this scripture. Isaiah 42, 8 and 9. And I read, I am the Almighty Power. That is my name. I will not give my glory to another, nor my praises to graven images. He will not give his glory to Christ or any idols. Behold, the ancient things have come to pass, and so will the new things which I tell you. So right here, the Almighty is telling us that new things are going to happen. And I am going to show you what's going to happen and the new things. And all of this is going to happen in one day. We're going to start with Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30, 5 to 9, and I read, Excuse me. Thus saith the Almighty, You shall hear a sound of fear. There is fear, and there is not peace, like now. Inquire and see if a male has borne a child, and ask concerning the fear, wherein they shall hold their loins, and look for safety. For I have seen every man, and his hands are on his loins. Their faces are turned to paleness. This is going to be a troubling time. For that day is great, not those days. For that day, one day. And there is not such another. So, this is a new thing. If there is not such another, if this doesn't exist, then this is a new thing. So this is one of them. And it is a time of straightness to Jacob, Jacob's trouble. But he shall be saved out of it. In that day, one day, saith the Almighty, I will break the yoke off their neck, lift our captivity, and will burst their bonds, and they shall no longer serve strangers, but they will serve the Almighty their power, and I will raise up to them David their king. Now, there are people that believe that our King David is going to come and lead us out of here, but I'm going to show you that that's not true. And I'll start with this one. If we're going through all this, and this happens in one day, and then the Almighty comes back, that means that King David was not with us. Okay, he says he will raise him up. And then to back that up, Hosea 3, 4, and 5. And I read, "For the children of Yasharel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince or leader, and without a sacrifice, and without an altar, and without a priesthood, and without manifestations. And afterwards, after we go through this, shall the children of Yasharel return." Return where? To Zion. "And shall seek the Almighty their power, and David their king." This shows us right here that we are going to go through Jacob's trouble. We're going to go back to Zion, and there we are going to meet up with the Almighty and our King David. "And shall be amazed at the Almighty and his goodness in the latter days," which is what we are in right now. So, Jacob's trouble. One day, something terrible is going to happen to make people turn pale and wet themselves. I'm going to show you what is going to happen and the supernatural things. So the first thing that's going to happen, Daniel 12, 1 and 2, and I read, "And at that time our great prince shall stand up, that stands over the children of thy people. And there shall be a time," not times, "of tribulation, such tribulation as has not been from the time that there was a nation on the earth until that time." So if this tribulation hasn't happened yet, then it's a new thing. "At that time," one day, "thy people shall be delivered, even every one that is written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake." This is a new thing. When the Almighty rescued, during the first captivity, the Almighty did not raise the dead. And again, our angel did not do this tribulation because it hasn't happened yet. "Some to everlasting life, and some to reproach and everlasting shame." So, our angel is going to come and do something so supernaturally terrible that we've never seen before. When it happens, we have a heads up. And then the Almighty is going to step on the scene, and he's going to raise the dead. That has not happened. That is a new thing. And we'll continue. Isaiah 13, 2 to 6, and I read, "Lift up a standard on the mountain of the plain. Exalt the voice to them. Beckon with the hand. Open the gates, ye rulers. I give command, and I bring them. Giants are coming to fulfill my wrath." This is a new thing. During the first captivity, it was just the Almighty and our angel. He did not bring giants. So this is a new thing. "Rejoicing at the same time and insulting. A voice of many nations on the mountains, even like to that of many nations. A voice of kings and nations gathered together. The Almighty of hosts has given command to a warlike nation to come from a land afar off, from the outmost foundation of heaven. The Almighty and his warriors are coming to destroy all the world." And again, this is new because the last captivity, or the Egyptian captivity, it was the Almighty and his angel. He didn't bring giants. "Howl ye, for the day," one day, "of the Almighty is near, and destruction from the Almighty shall arrive." So, we are also going to see giants. And I'll continue. Isaiah 45, 14 and 17, and I read, "Thus saith the Almighty of hosts, Egypt has labored for thee, and the merchandise of the Ethiopians and the Sabians, men of stature, shall pass over to thee, and shall be thy servants. This is new. During the Egyptian captivity, the Almighty did not give us giants as servants. Whenever it says men of stature in our book, that means giants. And what do servants do? What they're told. And they're going to be ours. And they shall follow after thee, bound in fetters. Fetters are chains, like what our ancestors experienced coming over here. And shall pass over to thee, and shall do obeisance to thee, and make supplication to thee, because the Almighty is in thee, and there is no power besides thee, O Almighty. 17. Yasharel, and this is to show that this is future prophecy. This hasn't happened yet. Yasharel is saved by the Almighty with an everlasting salvation. They shall not be ashamed nor confounded forevermore. Forevermore is from a point of time until forever. We are still ashamed. We are still confounded. So this hasn't happened yet. So, the Almighty is going to give us giants as servants. So, if you see giants coming towards you, don't trip. They're yours. We're going to continue. Isaiah 47, 1-9. And I read, Come down, sit on the ground, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Not Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and luxurious, Amerikka. Take a millstone, grind mill, remove thy veil, uncover thy white hairs, make bare the leg, pass through the rivers. Thy shame shall be uncovered. So what our captors are doing to us right now and all of their dirt is going to come out. Thy reproaches shall be brought to light. I will exact of thee due vengeance. I will no longer deliver thee to men. Thy deliverer is the Almighty of hosts, not Christ. The Holy One of Yasharel is his name. Now this continues. This is still the daughter of Babylon. Sit down, sit thou down, pierced with woe. Go into darkness. It's the same thing as verse 1. O daughter of the Chaldeans, just a different name. Thou shalt no more be called the strength of a kingdom. Okay? Who is the strength of the world right now? Amerikka. Amerikka is the superpower. Okay? The Americans here are Anglo-Saxons from the United Kingdom. Chew on that. I've been provoked with my people. Thou hast defiled mine inheritance. I gave them into thy hand, but thou did not extend mercy to them. Thou made the yoke of the aged man very heavy, and said, I shall be a princess forever. Who would say that? Amerikka. Thou did not perceive these things in thine heart, nor did thou remember the latter end. But now hear these words, thou luxurious one, who art the one that sits at ease, that is secure, that says in its heart, I am, and there is not another, Amerikka. I shall not sit a widow, neither shall I know bereavement. But now these two things shall come upon thee suddenly in one day. See the pattern? The loss of children and widowhood shall come upon thee, for thy sorcery, for the strength of thine enchantments. So in one day, Amerikka is going to see the loss of children and the loss of husbands. This is a new thing. In the Egyptian captivity, the Almighty took out the firstborn. This time, he's taken out husbands and children. So, one more. Joel 2, 1-10. And I read, Sound the trumpet in Zion, make a proclamation in my holy mountain, and let all the inhabitants of the land be confounded. For the day of the Almighty is near. For a day, and let me go back to 1, for the day, not the days. For the day of the Almighty is near. For a day of darkness and gloominess is near, a day of cloud and mist. A numerous and strong people shall be spread upon the mountains as the morning. There has not been from the beginning one like it. If there hasn't been an event like this before, this is a new thing. And after it, there shall not be again, even to the years of many generations. Before them is a consuming fire, and behind them is a flame kindled. The land before them is as a paradise of delight, and behind them is and behind them a desolate plain, and there shall none of them escape. Their appearance is as the appearance of horses and as horsemen. So shall they pursue. As the sounds of chariots on the top of mountains, they shall leap, and as the sound of a flame of fire devouring stubble, and as a numerous and strong people setting themselves in an array for battle. Okay, and it says, and as a, not a. There's a difference. Before them shall the people be crushed. Every face shall be as the blackness of a cauldron. As warriors they shall run, and as men of war shall they mount on the walls, and each shall move in his right path, and they shall not turn aside from their tracks. And not one shall stand aloof from his brother. They shall go on weighed down with their arms, their weapons, and they fall upon their weapons, yet shall they in no wise be destroyed. So they're immortal. They shall seize upon the city, and run upon the walls, and go up upon the houses, and enter in through the windows as thieves. Before them the earth shall be confounded, and the sky shall be shaken. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their light. So this is another thing that we have to look forward to. These that have the appearance of horses and horsemen across the mountains, running up the buildings, running into windows as thieves, preceded by fire. So that's another thing that you have to look forward to, but you don't have to fear it, because it's the Almighty coming to rescue us, to lift our captivity. Now I said that you have a role in the end, and we're going to go to Jeremiah 51:20. All this stuff that's happening, a lot of it is going to be, or there are some things that are going to be by our hand. Okay, Jeremiah 51:20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, African American. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Excuse me, this is all Negroes. But we are his weapons of war, and he is going to use us to destroy nations and kingdoms. So, there's a lot going on right now. But when the Almighty comes back, we have nothing to fear. He shows us everything that is going to happen. So when we see giants coming to us in chains, we know they're ours. When we see giants, we know they're the Almighty's. When we see this supernatural tribulation that's going to happen that has never happened before, we know that's our angel. When we see the dead walking, we know that's the Almighty. He tells us everything we need to know so we don't have to fear. And if we abide by the Almighty with a whole heart and go directly to Him and not through Christ, the Almighty will allow us to fulfill Psalm 91 so we can sit back, eat popcorn, and watch the Matrix destroy itself. But that can only happen if you fear only the Almighty, love only the Almighty with a whole heart. If you have JC in your heart, that's not a whole heart. It has to be all the Almighty Creator, and abide by His laws, statutes, and commandments. If we do this and give all of our problems to the Almighty exactly when they pop up, then we can fulfill this prophecy right now. Now, I don't know if I said this before, but since doctors are saying this now, since 2020, there have been over 1 billion people that have died. This prophecy is happening right now, and royal seed of Jacob, African American, Negro, you can be part of this. You just have to submit to only the Almighty, love and fear Him, and go directly to Him. And He will protect you till Zion come. Have a beautiful day, and all praise to only the Almighty, Most High Creator, who is our one and only Savior. Have a beautiful day, royal seed of Jacob.